So for this last video, I'm going to talk about art and the way that that's had a really big impact on my mental health, because I never really thought of myself as an arty person before I had a breakdown, and now it's my job, at least some of the time, and even when it's not my job, it's quite a big part of my life. So I came to art through art therapy at this day hospital where I spent a lot of time in the kind of immediate aftermath of my breakdown. And there was an art therapy group there, and there was also a pottery group there. And I think clay's been really significant, actually, because clay just kind of works magic with mental health. There's something really grounding about it, the fact that you're just literally making stuff out of mud, and the texture of it, and you can I used to just sit there and sort of sulkily poke some clay around for about an hour and a half, but it did help in a funny way. And with the kind of drawings type art, I think I just reached a point where I was like, well, I'm crap at everything else, so I may as well give this a go and be crap at this too. And actually, I sort of found a way through being crap at it to just accepting and letting myself screw it up and keep going. And now I go to this art studio, which is like a therapeutic community but based around art, twice a week, and it's great. I mean, it's hard, but it makes a huge difference to my mental health. So I'm gonna show some pictures of some of my sketchbooks from different points over the last few years, and then I'm going to talk through a couple of projects. One is a finished project, which is a book that I've produced called A is for Awkward, which is the stick figure cartoons that I first did when I first started doing art stuff. And the second one is one that's still a work in progress, called The Book of Hands, which is also going to be about my experiences of mental health, but just expressing them in a slightly different way. One of the things that was really helpful about art was that I could make a mess and just not try and do anything that looked like anything, or I could just experience the colours and enjoy them for what they were. And I think a big part of that was the fact that I made the books myself. Like, I'd physically made this space for myself that I could use however I wanted, and if it was a mess or not good by other people's standards, that was fine. I have what could politely be described as a difficult relationship with my body. A lot of my problems are played out quite physically. And I think drawing sort of isolated parts of myself can be quite helpful with that, in that it kind of lets me just see a part of myself as just another object that I'm drawing. And I just have to focus on the physical shape of it and the lines and the spaces, and not put so many judgments on there. One of the things that I have always liked to do when I am struggling to find my own inspiration, to know what to draw, is to use other people's words that I've loved as a starting point. And so this is Do Not Go Gentle Into That Good Night by Dylan Thomas. And this one is a quote from Waiting for Godot by Samuel Beckett, apart from the Why Aren't I Normal? Yeah, that's my addition. This is actually kind of a throwaway line in the play, but I find it really, that feeling of just doing things for the sake of passing the time and it all feeling like it doesn't really mean anything when I'm not in a great place. It's kind of how it feels, and it's quite good that someone else has written it down already. So this is A is for Awkward, and I'm just going to let it play and hopefully speak for itself. So this is the Book of Hands, which is very much a work in progress. I'm going to read through the text that is going to go with the images eventually. When I first painted, I painted with my hands. I was trying to annoy the art therapist by making as big a mess as possible. It backfired. Art therapists love mess. When I was angry, I showed it with my hands. I held my own life in my hands, and I almost let it go. There are days when I think if I touch my hand to paper, it will ignite. In sign language, you say sorry by making a fist and moving it in circles over your chest. Your hand is the same shape for violence and apology. When I learn to live with myself, I think it will begin in my hands, spreading backwards from my fingertips.